So for Leo Sun and Leo Rising, your future now awaits. We are just out of the eclipses of October, where you have started this new chapter of your life with your needs and your desires now being a priority with healthy boundaries. Because we are through the eclipses, the wheels of fate are now in motion and you are headed off into a new direction. You are now going to feel this forward momentum as all the planets begin to shift into different signs, pushing you out into a new destiny. So strive to accept this change with optimism as we move through November. Hi, I'm Patricia Tate with Willow Grace Mystic, and this is your November monthly forecast. So let's dive in. So we start off the month on November 4th. So on November 4th, we have Saturn finally stationing direct. Saturn is the planet of rules, regulations. It's about slow and steady progress. Saturn is in your 8th house in the sign of Pisces. Pisces is watery and it's intuitive. And the 8th house is your shared resources. And where have you been way too flexible with your resources? Remember that the 8th house is its debts, its obligations, its contracts. It's the house where you've merged with others. It's where we desire these deep connections, and it's also taboo topics. And so now that Saturn is moving direct, you're going to be able to have some boundaries or create some solid foundation as you move forward through the rest of the year. And then we move towards November 8th. On November 8th, we have Venus entering into the sign of Libra. So Venus is the planet or the goddess of love and money and beauty and what she brings. And she is now in your 3rd house. The 3rd house is communication. It is short distance travel. It's your siblings. It's your neighborhood. It's letters and books. It's how you say things. So you're going to be able to say things with beauty. You're going to want to surround yourself with things that are beautiful to you or pretty. The 3rd house is also the house where you connect with others, you talk or exchange ideas. So knowing that Libra is about balance. And so Venus in Libra is, you're going to be able to find it really easy to communicate with others. You're going to enjoy commitments and being very diplomatic and finding ways to compromise as you move forward through the rest of the month. Then we move to November 10th. On November 10th, Mercury enters into the sign of Sagittarius. Now, this is your 5th house, the 5th house of joy and children, being childlike, love affairs, recreation. It's how you express yourself. It's where you take risks. It's the house of hobbies. This house is going to be highlighted for the rest of the month for you. Now, having Mercury first going into this house is about you thinking bigger, thinking brighter, seeing the bigger picture, having things being easier for you, or working on big plans. So what are you starting with, art or music? How are you wanting to communicate? This is also the house of children. So are you wanting to expand your house? Are you wanting to have more children? Are you wanting to be more childlike with things that bring you joy? Mercury here is going to be starting this. Then we're going to move forward to November 13th. On November 13th, we're going to have a new moon in the sign of Scorpio. Remember that new moons, they bring fresh starts and clean slates. They're where we start something new and we plant these seeds and have these intentions. This has something to do with your 4th house of your home, your family, your roots, your foundation. The sun is the ruler of who you are. It's how you present yourself to the world. It's your identity. And the moon is your inner thoughts. It's your dreams, your intuition. It's paying attention to your spirit guides. It's also wanting a safe haven of what you can call your own, or a place where you can get away. And so having this new moon here in your 4th house, you are now planting seeds for things that you want to transform for the better in order to make them last. You can also pursue projects that you're passionate about and share things and start over. So what are you wanting to start at home that has to do with you, your identity, and your private side that you're not wanting to share with others? And it's probably something that has to do with expanding your house. Remember that the sign of Scorpio is deep bonding with somebody or wanting a place that's a safe haven that you don't want to share everything with. It's basically asking for a sacred space to call your own. And then I also want to draw your attention to you have this new moon here and you're wanting to create this sacred space, but we have Uranus and Taurus at the top of your chart. This is in your 10th house of your career, your legacy, your public life. It's how people see you. So this is where you're going to have this opposition with who I am at home and how people see me or know me, or how I present myself outside in the public life. And so this may make you feel like you're restless, or that you're being pushed up against a wall, or that somebody at work is trying to box you into something. Work on being productive with your responses with people who are at home and with things that are going on at your work. All right, then we're going to move forward to November 22nd. On November 22nd, we're going to have the sun entering into the sign of Sagittarius. So again, highlighting your themes of children, being childlike, what brings you pleasure, what brings you joy. This could be investments or sports or love affairs. Remember, this is about the house of expressing yourself. And so the sun entering here now is you saying, I am ready for adventure. I'm ready to expand this area of my life. I'm ready for these new experiences, these new opportunities. I want to be able to focus on these during this season. I have this optimistic view about being childlike, having children, or creativity, that I can do this music and I want to take this risk. This is you seeking out new people, places, things, and possibly even studying new topics as you go through the rest of this month. Then we're going to have Mars enter Sagittarius on the 24th. This is going to give you this push, this fire, this passion. Remember that Mars is where we have drive, and Mars rules over your house of I want to travel, I want to connect with others that are foreign, people, places, things. It's higher education, it's prophetic dreams, it's about law and advertising and having things published. It's you taking your dreams to the outside world. And now that Mars has entered into Sagittarius, your energy is going to become more laser focused on expanding and striving so that you can pursue these opportunities, so that you can learn, you can expand in your knowledge, your travel, exploring new places, trying new things. And this is everything that has to do with something that brings you pleasure and brings you joy. Then we're going to move forward to November 27th. On the 27th, we're going to have a full moon in the sign of Gemini. Now, full moons, they are endings, they're closures, they're a time to finalize some things. And so your focus has all been on you and what's bringing pleasure. Now, what's going to end is something with your house of my hopes, my wishes, my dreams. So this could be culminating or finishing a project, ending something, a work project, or something, a hope or a dream or something that you've been wanting to do. And maybe now it's over and now you're ready to start something new. The 11th house is your personal hopes, wishes, and dreams. It's your ambitions. It's your reputation. It's the 11th house is where I connect with other people, peers, or in order to move forward with common goals. And the 5th house is the house of pleasure. So what is ending with these common goals, whether it be through work or through friends or in social circles, and that you're ready to start something new. Now, with this full moon, it's going to be a really great time to sort through, to finalize some of these plans that you've had, to see the results of your short-term plans and ideas, for you to say what you mean and mean what you say about where you want to go and what you want to do. You're going to be able to merge your head and your heart at the same time, because the moon represents your intuition and Mercury rules your thoughts and your ideas. Now, Neptune in Pisces is in square to what's going on with this full moon. And so Neptune is your dreams and your intuition. And so this is about maybe your head being caught up in a fog with my shared resources that I have with other people, or I'm having a hard time seeing what's right in front of me with my house of contracts. Remember that the 8th house is the house, it's where you have business contracts that you share with other people. It's also shared resources that you have with other people. So maybe you started something that had to do with your fifth house, and the moon is revealing some things that the Neptune, this square, has to do with your shared resources, other people's money, the debt, the obligations, this inheritance, or where you want these deep connections or these joint ventures or taboo topics. Something is now going to be a little bit off, and you're not going to be able to see everything clearly with what's going on with that. So ground your thoughts and work to use your imagination to be able to see the clear picture. So Leo, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and please check out each of the transits as they come up with the new moon and the full moon to gain more information for each sign. And join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer tarot consultations and full moon and new moon astrology readings. And please subscribe to get updates as soon as they're released.